The ancient Egyptians believed in the idea of resurrection, of a rebirth. The god of resurrection and rebirth was Osiris, seated here with his curved beard and his mummiform body. He sits behind a lily or lotus, a symbol of rebirth, with the sister goddesses Isis and Nephthys behind him. The ancient Egyptians believed that when they died, they were identified with Osiris. We see the craftsman Senegem lying here on the embalming table, mummified with his curved beard. The sister goddesses, the archetypal mourners, are in the forms of birds of prey, kites. They mourn the deceased Senegem. The myth of Osiris is found for the first time inscribed in hieroglyphs inside the pyramid of the pharaoh Unas, a pyramid that dates to over 4,000 years ago. But the most detailed version of the myth of Osiris is found written in Greek by Plutarch, who lived in the 1st century AD, some 2,400 years after those pyramid texts. Osiris, with his green skin, symbolizes the idea of a rejuvenation, a resurrection. Green, the color of flourishing, of agriculture. Osiris was god both of the dead, but also of vegetation and agriculture. In the ancient mythology, Osiris was king of the living before he went on to become god of the dead. He had taught people to farm, to comply with the laws of the land, to worship gods and goddesses. He ruled from the delta town of Busiris. His brother was Seth, the interesting animal pictured here on the middle of this ivory wand, a bizarre creature. Seth was a god associated with chaos and disorder. He wished to murder his brother Osiris. He wished to rule Egypt. He killed his brother and threw the coffin into the Nile. It bobbed out to the Mediterranean Sea and all the way to Byblos on the coast of Lebanon. The coffin became part of a tamarisk tree. Isis, Osiris's sister, went on a quest for the body of her brother. She went to Byblos. She convinced the ruler of Byblos to cut down the tree and give the body of Osiris to his sister. Isis, goddess of magic. She was a goddess of healing and medicine. In return for the favor, she cured the prince of Byblos's son of a terrible illness. She took Osiris back to Egypt, but Seth was on the attack. He hacked the body of Osiris apart. So Osiris was scattered over Egypt. Isis had to find his body parts and mummify him to create the perfect body, a mummified body, the prototype mummy. Their child, Horus, during this difficult time, was left in the marshes of the delta. He overcame the snakes, the scorpions, the crocodiles. He's pictured here as a young child, overcoming the vagaries of nature.